Okay, so just got out to the field. It's a beautiful fall day. A little chilly. The crisp wind. It's cutting through the clothes right now. But I'm gonna try to see if I can answer an important question. Does the trail belong in my bag? Earlier this year, MVP dropped what a lot of people were saying was the best driver made, and that is the MVP Trail. This is the St. Louis Open edition of it here. And I was thinking about picking one up when it came out because the reviews on it were so awesome and I saw the way everybody else was throwing it. But there was also another disc I was thinking about getting, which is the time lapse. So I ended up going with this one. It wasn't for me. I threw it a couple times, immediately put it on the shelf, figured I'd come back to it when I had a little more arm speed. But yeah, most of the time I'm throwing 9 speeds. I don't go above that very often. But today we're gonna try it out. So we're gonna try out this trail, we're gonna try out this time lapse, and I'm gonna see how it compares to the discs I normally use. These aren't gonna be like max power, max distance shots, because I don't really throw those on the course very often. This is gonna be more kind of just my normal 70%. Let's see what the disc wants to do on a line. So I'm gonna be comparing them to my Vandal, which is kind of my flippier 9-speed, and then my Thunderbird, which is my straighter 9-speed with finish. I saw a lot of people say that these are flippy. I expect it to kind of maybe be in between those, or I would choose this instead of one of those two. Time lapse, I don't know if it's a fair comparison since it's a 12-speed versus a 10, but just gonna throw it out there too and see what it does. Looks like I do have a little bit of a headwind. Yep. That just drifted. It didn't really turn, I guess. It kind of just drifted the whole way. I threw that pretty similar, maybe if anything, a little more hyzer. You can see it kind of held straight and then just wanted to go right the whole time. So pretty good example of those two. Usually the Vandal turns left and then finishes right, and that one kind of just drifted left the whole time. I don't know if that was the headwind or how I threw it. Pretty much what I get on my Thunderbird. If I'm thrown into a headwind, sometimes it'll flip up to flat, just a pushing steady hyzer. So I'm thinking this trail's probably, if it throws like its flight numbers, it's probably gonna match that or be similar. Oh, wow. Wow, so a very similar flight. It looks like it flew just like that Thunderbird with just more speed, which is exactly what it says it does. That went pretty far. And then time lapse. I really don't think I have enough arm for this disc. It's supposed to be AM friendly. Let's see, it's fission, 163 grams. Fission time lapse. Oh wow, look at that turn. Okay, I wasn't expecting those to go as far as they did. Okay, that went a little different than I expected it to. I'm gonna reverse the order. This time I'll go time lapse trail and then my 2 discs, and we'll see how they do. And then after that, I'm gonna go play around at my favorite local course and try them out on a couple shots I'd normally throw my other disc at. Here comes the time lapse. Oh, I turned it. That's too bad. That's not the disc's fault. I just turned it. All right, trail. That flipped up all the way to flat. Got a little bit. Okay. Nice little skip at the end too. All right, Thunderbird. Oh, there we go. That's a nice throw with that one. The trail really does kind of, for me, it's kind of just 1 speed faster than my Thunderbird, which is great, actually. There we go, that looks a little more normal. It should come out of that. No? Weird, whenever I throw it here, it's so much different than when I throw it on lines at the course, which is why I plan on doing both. Let's pack up stuff and go head out to Litz. Okay, so hole 3 out at Litz. This is one I typically either throw my Thunderbird or Tesla on. It says it's 253. It feels further than that since it's uphill. The pin is directly behind me, kind of hanging underneath that tree there. This is one I'm gonna try with a Thunderbird, and then I'll throw a second shot with a trail and see if it lets me back off on the power a little bit, but still get the shot shape. Looks like a little tailwind. Okay, I hung that out a little more left than I meant to, but got a nice skip. That's probably 15 feet. Then we'll go trail. Oh, that one, it finally turned a little bit there. Okay, so at least for that shot shape and how I threw that, I'm definitely digging the Thunderbird. Okay, this one's a bit of a bonus. I've been struggling to find the right shot for here. It is 380, kind of goes uphill at the end there. Wraith is my driver. I'm gonna try it with the time lapse. I do have a really strong left to right. Okay, as mentioned, strong left to right. Let me try my Wraith first. If the wind pushes that might be good. Okay, that was really short, actually. Yep. Okay, so that was really short. Let's try time lapse. Okay, that turned a lot. Okay, that one got a little more distance. Okay, so this shot is hole 6. The basket's kind of tucked in between those trees. This is something I usually throw with my Eclipse Crave. It's my more stable Crave. But I think I'm gonna try the trail here as well, see if I can just throw a nice hyzer shape in instead of flat with some turn. So I'll throw the Eclipse first. If that gets turned, that's beautiful. Okay, that might be a putt. I think it's a little short. And then we'll try the same shot with the trail. Oh, I yanked it. Oh, might still be good though. I think they're gonna be similar. Looks like I'd have a putt from either. Okay, so here's where the trail landed. Probably about 35 feet. And then it looks like the Crave took a skip and came down here. The basket, so either's a great shot. I think that trail could be a great shot for that. I didn't throw a very good one on it, so. Okay, so the story of the day has kind of been Thunderbird versus the trail. It's not that one's gonna replace the other, it's just kind of similar shot shape so far. So this one, the basket's way on top of the hill, you can't really see it. I usually kind of end up near those little 3 trees over there, but I kind of wanted to finish in the opening, so I think this is a good shot for either. That's way more left than I wanted. I don't think I've ever been to that spot. The goal is kind of just to be able to see the basket. So if I can ever get to where the basket is in sight for my second shot, I'm pumped. Wow, that got a lot of turn on that one. It's gonna be right next to it. All right, so the trail's about 40 feet past it. 2 spots I've never been. Okay, here's where the Thunderbird got to. And you can just barely make out the top of the basket right there. But if I can see the basket on the second shot here, I'm always pumped. And here's the trail. You can actually see the basket purely. So this is actually a great shot. I've never been here. So yeah, I threw the trail a few more times off camera, and yeah, it's definitely going in the bag. Flies very similar to my Thunderbird. It doesn't fight the wind, I noticed, quite as well as a Thunderbird does. And sometimes it does turn, and my Thunderbird will get to flat, but it doesn't start turning yet. So definitely, it could be a little bit of a longer hyzer shot for me. I just got to be careful that it may need a little more width for the shot as well. But yeah, that disc is going in my bag. The time lapse, which was kind of just a fun trial. I shot it against my Wraith, and my Wraith beat it every time. So that one's still going on the shelf for now, but maybe I'll come back to it later. Let me know if there's any discs you think I should try in that slot or just in my bag in general, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.